So the question is, how do you teach your kids to save? Every good parent wants their kids to have great saving skills, right? And it comes down to you want your kid to be good with money, and it usually starts with saving. So what I'm going to talk about in this video is the 3 steps every parent has to do. And what you're going to notice is it's almost flipped. Most parents approach this completely backwards and upside down, and we're going to approach it in a very different way. So stick around and I'll show you how it's easiest for the kid brain to understand how to save. So parents want their kids to save. It makes sense. They want them to have good money habits, good saving habits, good investing habits. So this is the first step in having your kids learn how to save. You got to give them money. Now, they may get money from birthdays or holidays, but the way I did it, I have 2 kids. I started giving them money very early on, early enough on where, and I did it where I'd actually give them the actual, $5. It really wouldn't have that much value to them. It would kind of be floating around their room. It would be like lint in their pocket, and it would fall out of their pocket, or, but get it to them as early as you can. So wherever they are, it's not too early. And I started my one kid at, I think, 3 years old, and the other one at 6 years old. I started at the same time. So you have to give them money. Now, whether you want to give it to them and have them do chores, or you just give it to them as allowance, I give it to them as allowance. So they don't have to do anything for the money. That's me giving it to them. I tell them why I give it to them. I say, I want to train you to be good at spending money. I want you to be good at saving money, and I want to have you be good at giving money away. And I'll talk about those 3 things. So the first thing is you actually have to give them money. Now, if you want them to do chores, that's fine. I actually don't think chores and money should be connected. No one is paying me to do chores around the house. And I tell them, you're part of this family. I'm not going to pay you to be part of this family and do chores. If they want to do extra stuff, if they want to paint a room or do stuff that's above and beyond their normal chores, then talk to them about paying them. And I do that too, and I pay them the going rate. So meaning if they want to do something above and beyond and it's actually a $25 an hour job, I give it to them at $25 an hour. Okay, so the first thing is you have to give them money. My rule was $1 for every year of their age. So if you have a 15-year-old, it's $15 a week. If you have a 6-year-old, it's $6 a week. So you give them the money. I put a little spreadsheet together so they can see how much money I have given them. And a lot of times that money accumulates. So the first thing is giving them money, whether it's through allowance and you just give it to them, or they have to do chores around the house and you pay for that. I just give it to them. So the first thing is give them money. Okay. Here's the second thing. Now, let me just set that one aside. It's cheaper for you to give them money at 5 years old, 10 years old, and 15 years old than have to bail them out at 20, 25, and 30. So anyone who's freaking out that you're giving them just money, just relax. It's cheaper to give them money now. Okay, so once you give them that, here's the first thing you want to do. So you want to actually train them and teach them to spend. You want them to be very good at how they spend money. And it seems kind of weird, right? But you want to teach them first to be good spenders. And the way I've done that is 2 parts. One, I make them research, right? So if my daughter says, I want to have a rat, I want to buy a pet rat, I'm like, great, research it. Just go and research and tell me what you find. And she'll go and research and she'll come back with all this information. Then I'll go and research with her. And, before we know it, we learn that rats pee all over your house and they're high maintenance animals and so on and so on. So it's like, okay, we're not getting a rat. So when one of my kids says they want something, I'm like, great, go research it. So I direct them towards the internet and I do it with them and I have them practice learning how to research and going to different websites. Now you're teaching and training them to spend, right? So that you're having them learn about what they want to get before they actually get it. I have a 24-hour cooling off rule. So if they want anything, if we're at Target or Costco, it's a 24-hour cooling off. There is no, oh my God, look at that sparkly thing in the corner. It's like, great, that's awesome. We'll come back and get it. And don't mention it again. And if they mention it 24 hours later, then you can talk to them about it. Okay, the second thing within spending is I teach them the difference between retail and use. So there's a lot of secondhand clothing stores, I think everywhere these days. And so early on, I would take my kids to like the Goodwill or Savers or whatever your Goodwill equivalent is, and we'd go through and look at the price of clothes, and they'd buy clothes or they'd buy toys or they'd buy whatever, and I'd show them the price and say, this is the price. And then when we'd go to Target or a retail place, I'd point out you're paying retail. So this is this is a retail price. So you're teaching them that there's these different prices. This is not on sale. You're paying full price for this. Remember the t-shirt that was $2 at Savers? This is $22. So you're going to pay $22 plus state tax. So I'm having them do it. I'm getting a calculator out, which is your phone. I'm showing them what it's actually going to be. It's going to be $24.20. Or you could go get it used. So I'm going through the process with them. And if they've passed their 24 hours and if they want to pay what I call retail plus, allow them to. I'd rather have them make a mistake at $24 than $2,400 or $24,000 or $240,000. So you're going to want them to make mistakes at smaller dollar amounts. And just give them space. Just give them space to be like, wow, that is... then I don't have any more for this. Or they're going to make these mistakes, but your job is just to start to point out that's retail, that's on sale. This is going to go on sale in 3 weeks. And when it goes on sale in 3 weeks, you're going to save 30%. 30% of $30 is $9 plus tax, which is $9.90, which is $10. So you teach them to round two. The first step after you give them money is to teach them how to spend. And the way I teach is through research and talking about if they're paying retail or when that's going to go on sale, or I have them go home and do more research on whatever it is they want to buy. So if they see it in a store, say, well, let's go see what it is at Amazon or Walmart. So training them, teaching them to spend. Now, when you're giving them money, you want to show them how to accumulate that money. Now, this is the confusing thing about when you train a human. This word save is really weird because if they have this pile of money that they're going to spend, they're saving it up to spend it, right? So it's future spending, right? So you then can't say save over here because that's confusing. So what I do is I don't use the word save. Okay, what I say is, here's your spending money, and where do you want to accumulate it? Like, where do you want to build up your spending money? And then here's this money you're going to transfer. I'm talking to you now, not their kid, but I want you to use the word transfer. Say, we're going to now transfer part of this to your future. And I'm going to show them, we log online, I show them how I'm doing it, and they have an account, whether it's their Roth IRA or it's an UTMA or some sort of brokerage account, but I show them where I've transferred part of their allowance to their future. And I would use those words. So the video is about how to teach or how to train your kid to save. Okay, now we're on step 2 here because the first was 1, which was show them how to spend. We had step 0, which was give them money. So step 2 is really don't use the word save. What I want you to do is say, we're going to transfer this money to your future. And here's this account, and this account is for your future. Now, my kids have actually 3 accounts. They have an education account, a 529, which they know about, okay? They have a retirement account, a Roth IRA, which they know about, and they have a brokerage account or a taxable account. So I'm already setting up that they have these 3 different types of accounts, and that we have transferred money. But now that I'm giving them money for allowance, they are also having to transfer their own money to their brokerage account. So I'm showing them where the account is. We log in, we transfer money over, and they get used to it because we're probably not going to have paper money, or they're probably not going to have paper money. So I want them to get used to seeing how it's transferred, logging in, looking at that. That's where their money has been transferred. And then you get to have the whole conversation with them about what you do with that money that they've transferred to their future. Okay. The last thing, which again, this video is about how to teach them to save. We've now learned that it's really, you want to change the word to transfer to your future. But within the same vein, I'm teaching both my kids to give part of their allowance. So again, we go back to research. Where do you want to give the money? Save dolphins, save earth, save whatever. And then they get to research. And then once a year, we take their accumulated portion that they're going to give away, and then we make the donation to their part. So I'm teaching them that you give, okay? Part of every dollar that comes in your life, a portion goes to giving and helping others. A portion is transferred to your future, and a portion is spent. And so when you look at it that way, say, guys, gals, when the dollar or the euro or the yen or the yuan comes into your life, you're going to break it up into threes. Part of it's going to be spending it. You want to be good at spending. Part of it's going to be transferring it to your future. You want to be good about transferring to your future. And part of it, you're going to give to people who need help. And by doing it that way, then you're going to start to train them and wire their brain that when a dollar comes into their world, when a euro comes into their world, when a yen or a yuan or a pound comes into their world, they're like, yes, I have it, and a portion goes here, a portion goes here, and a portion goes here. So I would veer away from the word saving because the brain has no idea what that word means, but accumulating an amount of money to spend at a future date, right? That's about spending. Transferring to your future is about transferring to your future, which you then get to talk to them about investing later, and giving to help others. So you have 3 different frames for them to start to learn, oh, that's how money works. Thanks so much, guys, for being in my world, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And if you like this, please, you're gonna love the videos that follow. Hit the like button, it makes a difference. Thanks, I'll speak to you soon.